Having the right technologies and tools at your disposal as an entrepreneur can make or break your success and also your bank. So today I'm going to go through my top 5 cost-effective and valuable tools and technology that I use to support myself as an entrepreneur and also my fashion startup company, The Lasting Impression. Stay tuned. What's up, my fellow entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs, and those that just tag along for the journey? I'm Mohsin, and welcome to Flashy Knowledge Episode 6. Very excited to have you here with me today. Here in my vlog, Flashy Knowledge, I'll talk about my entrepreneurship adventures and also what's going on with my fashion startup company, The Lasting Impression. If you feel value in me sharing my journey and trying to give back to the entrepreneurship community, hit that like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. So this week we actually got a special episode. I'm actually skipping what's happening with the Lasting Impression this week, and I'm jumping right into what I really want to talk about, which is technologies and tools for new entrepreneurs or those of you who are maybe looking to revamp a couple things or just kind of see what's out there. Keep in mind, these are just technologies and tools that I'm using. I'm not sponsored by them. Of course, they don't sponsor people who have like 5 viewers. But anyway, so again, I'm not sponsored. I'm not pushing the agenda for any of these companies. These are actually technologies and tools that I use. And to be honest, I owe a lot of my current steam, success, whatever you want to call it, to these tools because they've helped me stay organized and they've kind of put me back on the right track. And of course, I'm very conscious about cost and trying to keep operating costs low and technology costs low. Especially since I'm just starting off, so these are very cost effective as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Here are my top 5 technologies and tools that I currently use, and we'll go through a walkthrough of each one just so you can get an idea of how I use it and what it's all about. Alright, the first tool I want to talk about is Trello, Trello. The reason I wanted to bring this up first is because I think this can single-handedly take the win for me getting my business back on track. It's basically a tool that helps you visualize your work. It's very neat. It's like drag and drop, very simple, very easy to use, and I'll walk you through exactly what that looks like in a second. But a little bit of backstory here. Previously, I used to keep all of my ideas and thoughts and strategies on Post-its and notebooks and journals, and some stuff was on my computer, but a lot of it was just everywhere, and a lot of it was also in my head. And honestly, for me, if I didn't see it written or if I wasn't able to create an actionable plan, things weren't getting done. So I struggled for a while on how to kind of manage the workload, manage a strategy in a easy to digest kind of way. So that's where Trello came on board, and actually had a friend refer it to me. Again, it's just a way to visualize your work. So you can pick whatever background you want here, and the way I visualize my work is using kind of lean and agile methodology. So there's epics, like the big picture stuff, and then you have features that support the epics, and then you'll have stories, or as I put it, tasks that support the features, and then you can create different lanes. So you have like epics, features in progress, done, archive. So you can create whatever list you want here. Again, this is just what I use for now. If you just have one that just says all the things I need to do, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to do that. But you have lists here that you can create, and then you can just kind of drag and move stuff over. So for example, I have a fashion company, so one of the epics could be expanding out business services. Right, and there could be a few features that support that epic. So one of them could be create a personal styling consultation service, right? So as soon as we've started to work on this, I would just put that to features in progress, and then in this area, I would create a bunch of cards that would support this feature in progress. Then you can move things to done when they're completed. A couple of cool things. You click on the actual card. You can add a description. It's just so customizable, which I really love. You add your description, add any comments. So if things come up or you want to tag people, you can kind of just hit at, and then you can put their name in there so they get an alert. It shows you all the activity. You can add specific members to each card. You can add different labels. Like I have labels for team improvement stuff. I have labels for marketing. I have labels for HR stuff. I have labels for like website stuff. So you can create labels for pretty much anything that you want. You can create custom checklists as well. And then you can add any attachments that you need to add here. And then there's a bunch of actions you can do, like moving, copying, or just simply watching the card. And then you can obviously archive it. So there's a lot of things that you can do. You can customize it to pretty much however you want. Being able to see and visualize your work is very important, especially if you're in a team. Being able to have one central location where you are coming and seeing what people are working on, who's doing what the status is, and also further detail about it is so helpful. So I really love this tool, and as I mentioned, I think this is probably this is probably the tool that kind of reinvigorated my company and myself, and kind of got me back on track, because I pretty much just dumped all the stuff I had in my journals, my notes, my head into different lanes. I wish I could show you, but unfortunately our TLI Trello board does have some sensitive information about kind of future strategy, and other sensitive information about kind of things we have in flight, and some surprise things that we have that unfortunately I cannot share it right now. But at least I wanted to show you guys what this looks like and how you can use it, and how honestly useful it is. And you can select your own avatar as well, and you can create as many boards as you want. There's a few boards here. You can create your own personal boards as well. So you can create as many boards as you want. I believe there is a business version as well. I haven't played around with that because I've been having so much success with just the free one, so I never even bothered looking at the business version. But so you can do a bunch of stuff, changing backgrounds, and customize it pretty much as much as you want. If one of your struggles is being able to organize yourself and organize your company, and kind of you feel like you have everything all over the place, this is the tool for you. And I want to start here because you need to be organized. You need to have your stuff in order if you ever want to accomplish anything in your personal life or in your professional life or business life. So to me, this is really the essential starting point here. So that's Trello. All right, so the second tool I want to discuss is Wix. We all obviously need a way to communicate with the world, and that is either social media or our website. So I chose Wix for our website, mainly because the price was really good, and also it was very easy to use. I believe I signed up for the trial website or something like that, and everything was just so simple and easy to work with. Like it's pretty much a drag and drop editor, and I have very little background in HTML and web development. Not much. I did a little bit in college, but this kind of just made everything really simple. It literally is just a drag and drop editor. And it's great because it's pretty powerful and robust. So we obviously have an e-commerce store. We are going to be launching our consultation services, where people need to be able to schedule and kind of book things through our site. And we're in the middle of starting a blog as well. So it's a really powerful marketing tool, and it's a great place for you to start your kind of web presence, because you can pretty much do everything in one place. And I was really looking for that. I didn't want to have to schedule people in like using Google or something, and then have to do e-commerce through something else, and then blog through something else. This just made everything really simple and easy to use. It's very it's very beautiful, quite honestly. The different things you can do, and the different designs they have. Everything is very artistic, and it just flows very well. But just honestly, a very powerful tool. I did a lot of research on different kind of web platforms that I wanted to use, and for the price and for what this provided and how easy it was to use, this was obviously the winner. So any editing that we do for our site, all the booking stuff, the e-commerce, all that is done through here. You can, if you have an e-commerce site, you easily can access your products, look at your orders. manage your booking services. You have a booking calendar. They have a new blog area as well. Um, Contact CRM. These can all be stored here. Your contact list, um, marketing tools. So, obviously, when you have a site, you need to get pretty well versed on SEO. So they did such a great job with helping you optimize your SEO. So they help you select your keywords. They take you through an optimizer that optimizes each site page. Just very well done. Email marketing. If you sign up for different packages, I think so. We have an e-commerce package and also it's an e-commerce package and a consult booking services package. So you get a certain number of shout outs, which is basically just marketing campaigns here. And then you can actually use some of their templates, or you can create your own to blast your subscribers or anyone that you want with your different shout outs. Let's say you have coupons or you have special sales, you can do that as well. Triggered emails I love, because instead of you manually having to go in and be like, oh, somebody bought something, so I need to send them an email, or oh, I need to remind somebody of this or that. They actually have triggered emails that you can create. So something obviously starts the trigger, and you can select whichever one you want, whether it's somebody buying something or somebody asking a question or subscribing, and then you can send out pre-made templates that are automatically triggered from those events. So it's pretty awesome, and we actually leverage them as well. Marketing integrations. And we obviously have Google Analytics set up and Facebook Pixel and Google Tag Manager. So this just helps you run a little bit of analytics on the back end as to how your site's performing, what you should focus on. They just added this logo maker. I wish I had known about it a little bit earlier, but obviously I made my logo a few years ago. But this is something new. But that just goes to show you they're always adding new stuff for people to kind of play around with and test out. And obviously they're trying to get in the minds of entrepreneurs and people out there. So logos is obviously one of the things that we love making, because it's kind of our brand and our company. So they are always adding new stuff in there. But yeah, that's Wix. Everything is done through Wix. It's again really good price range. I think when I started Wix, I want to say I was spending like 150. Don't quote me on this, but it was like 150-ish or something, 150 to 200, and that included my domain as well. And obviously we upgraded to an e-commerce site and kind of to handle booking, consultations, and all that stuff. So I think I'm somewhere at around 300 for the year, which isn't bad at all, comparing to with some of the other price plans that I've seen. For what I'm getting, it's a really good deal. And again, I love using Wix just because pretty much when you're on the site, everything is just drag and drop and really easy to use, and it's very robust. And they already have like preset images and effects and all that. It just makes your life a lot easier. I'm not a super creative guy by any means. That's probably one of my biggest weaknesses. But the preset stuff that they provide makes my life a lot easier to kind of get in there and be like, oh, this looks nice, and oh, this is appealing to the eyes, because I am terrible at that. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, this is the platform that we use to kind of promote the lasting impression and house our e-commerce site and everything. So real quick, here's what the Wix editor looks like for those of you who are interested. If you've been kind of tagging along with our journey and been on our site before, you're going to be like, what the heck is this? So we've actually done a little revamp to the site to make it a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more flowy and uniform. So Alex has been working diligently to kind of redecorate and make this a little bit easier for people to navigate and kind of look at. So thank you, Alex, for that. But yeah, so as I mentioned a few times, it's a drag and drop editor, and I wasn't joking. You see these little things here, add, and you can pretty much add whatever you want. Text, image, gallery, shape, something interactive, videos, box, a strip for certain things, music, a contact form, a menu, lightbox, a blog, your store, a members area. So there's a ton of stuff that you can add, and for each thing you can add, there's like a bajillion ways to customize it. So if you're starting off with Wix, I would say take plenty of time to watch videos, watch walkthroughs, tutorials, and just get familiar with the capabilities of the tool because there's a lot of stuff you can do and it's very powerful. So there's what the drag and drop looks like. You literally just grab one of these things and put it out there. And that's all you really need. Um, Over here, you kind of have an overview of your menus and pages, and you can kind of hide things, and you can take care of your SEO right there. You can add different apps, and they have a bunch of third-party apps like social media apps and chat apps and a bunch of stuff like that you can add. You can add in your store. Obviously, you can send out your marketing emails right from here. Take care of your bookings right from here as well, and then you go right to your blog. So this is kind of what our new site looks like. Again, depending on when you're watching this, maybe things have changed a little bit, but this is kind of the revamped version here. So yeah, it's really simple and easy to use. And for those of you who are kind of worried about, oh God, I'm not a good web developer, or I'm not sure what things are supposed to look like and how to do this and that. This pretty much handles, I want to say, 80%. I mean, you have to have some concept of what you want your site to look like, but pulling from the different things they give you, or the different pictures, the different preset effects, and the different options you have, it's really a great starting tool for you to use before, I guess, maybe you have enough money to hire a full-time web developer. So yeah, this is Wix. This is the drag and drop editor. It's a great tool to use, and I highly recommend it. All right, so the third tool I want to discuss with you guys is Zoho Mail. I'm sure some of you are like, what the hell is Zoho Mail? It sounds like some weird third-party spamming, phishing mail service. Well, it's actually not. When I was starting The Lasting Impression, I was looking at where we can kind of host our email domain. And there were a bunch of options. There was stuff with, I believe, Microsoft. Google had paid services as well. But I actually came up and found through research, Zoho Mail is actually rated one of the top free like email hosting platforms. So I've been using it since the beginning, and I have to say, there's probably lots of bells and whistles here that I don't use. They have stuff like bookmarks and their own contacts and notes and tasks. It's very similar to Gmail and Google's platform. The main reason why I selected this was it was free. So it took a little bit more legwork to get things connected. Like I bought my domain through Wix, I believe, when I purchased the e-commerce platform. And all I did was there were a couple manual steps you needed to do to connect your domain here. So our domain is yourstylematters.com. So what you're looking at right now is our generic email address, info@yourstylematters.com. So I connected that. There were a couple of manual steps. It wasn't anything too hectic or crazy. I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to be as easy as Google's platform. But they laid out the steps very easy and nice, and you can see it. I mean, it's a very, very basic platform. You have a bunch of your emails here, and then you can see it. I mean, it's very similar to what you see with other email hosting services. Then, like I mentioned, you got your mail, calendar, task, notes, contacts, bookmarks. I don't use them a lot. I'm going to be honest. I pretty much solely use this platform to host our email domain, yourstylematters.com. But the control panel is very simple and easy to use as well. Once you go to settings, you can set up your team. You can, as an administrator, you can monitor and control everything you need for your team, like setting up new accounts, what type of accounts. You can set up your email distribution list. So it's a pretty robust and semi-powerful tool. But again, I mean, it's free, and I didn't feel like paying. I think it was like at the time $14.99 a month for Google's like business tools, because it just honestly at the beginning it just was not needed, and this is a completely free service. And yeah, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Google probably has, but I've saved a ton of money just hosting it through Zoho Mail. Their customer service is pretty good too, and I haven't had any issues so far at all. Again, at the beginning there was just a couple of manual steps you need to do, which they lay out for you very easily once you're first setting it up. But I mean, you can't beat it. You can't beat the fact that they're hosting your email domain for free, and you're basically getting a pretty decent platform with everything that you need. And again, you can expand out and leverage your calendar, task, and notes, but I don't right now. I leverage Google for those areas because I've already had a TLI Google account anyway. So yeah, this is Zoho Mail. I don't really have any complaints about it aside from the fact that maybe it's not as user friendly as Google, but you know, you get what you pay for. It's free. It gets the job done, and I haven't had any issues, so I highly recommend Zoho Mail. Ladies and gentlemen, the next tool is Google Drive. And if you haven't heard of Google Drive by now, then you've probably been living under a rock. Google Drive is essential to my business operations and to my team. This is a great collaboration platform and tool. I'm sure most of you guys have heard about it, so I'm honestly not going to spend too much time on Google Drive, but it really is great, folks, for the ability to share files and collaborate and kind of make changes together, and the auditing capabilities, and just being able to have one central location for everything. I really can't complain. This I use their free version. I believe you get up to 15 gigs of storage. But yeah, so I've got my own files here for like my business plan, client projects that I share, employee files, financials, and you can obviously set your own permissions on each one. So you can click share, and you can select different people on your team that you want to be able to share it with. But yeah, so I mean, this one's pretty simple and straightforward. And then we have like a file for working files, and we have different services and different things that we have kind of in flight, which I share with the team. So it's very simple, very easy to use. Maintains a great audit trail. You guys can collaborate on projects together at the same time. You can also see changes that are made, and I love how it changes instantly, and it works seamlessly with Excel and Word and PowerPoint. It's pretty much just a drag and drop. And anytime you want to load something, like for example, I might work on something on Excel on my laptop, and I put it up here, and then it opens in Google. I think it's called Google Sheets. And then it just automatically converts it over to that, and then you can kind of collaborate and work on that. So you have kind of an original, then you have a working copy that translates into kind of Google's version. So very easy to use. I love the ability to share, collaborate in one location. I love to see the auditing trail as well, in addition to being able to just get everything you need in one place. It's honestly a great collaboration tool with plenty of storage, with the ability to share as needed, convert files, drag and drop, and basically just share things with your team and be able to collaborate effectively. So this is really something I highly recommend if you don't have something that you currently are using for you or your team to kind of collaborate and have one central location for all your business stuff and documents. So this is Google Drive. The last tool on my list today is Audible. Now I know some of you may be like, well, is this really a tool? I do consider this a technology or tool simply because, I'm all about continuous learning and continuous improvement for entrepreneurs. This is a tool to develop yourself. Quite honestly, the combination of Trello to organize myself, my life, my thoughts, my strategies, and the development I got from listening to books on Audible probably are the two things that got me back on track when I was a little bit lost in my entrepreneurship adventures. And they really helped me kind of fine-tune myself and develop myself to what I am today. I'm by no means perfect. I still have a long way to go in regards to getting better at organizing myself, development, and all that. But entrepreneurship is a journey, right? There's lots of things that we can nitpick and choose to work on, and that's part of getting better as a person, and that's a part of being self-aware. So it doesn't have to be Audible, but please pick something that will allow you to grow as an individual, as an entrepreneur, and to kind of expand your mind out there. So this is kind of what I'm reading right now by Stephen M. Covey, The Speed of Trust. I'm actually reading, I don't know why I said reading, but I'm actually listening to this book now. Everyday meditation. I actually am trying to meditate every morning for 10 to 15 minutes just to kind of set the tone for the day. And they actually gave this book free, I believe, to Audible members. So I haven't had a chance to test that out, but I will. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Love this book and love his TED Talk as well. The Power of Habit, Crushing It by, of course, Gary Vee. So Good They Can't Ignore You. 25 Cognitive Biases, great for marketing. And of course, the classic How to Win Friends and Influence People. Some books are missing, and I guess, okay. I guess when you buy things on your phone, they don't show up here because it's actually on my laptop. But yeah, so I use Audible for part of my self-development. You know, obviously, I combine that with many other things like mentors and YouTube videos and just actual reading. So, but to be honest, Audible's really helped me because instead of listening to music while I'm driving to work, I just pop on my latest book, or during my workouts, I actually listen to some of these books, or when I'm just cleaning around the house, I'll pop this on the Bluetooth headset and listen to my book. So all the in-between time where we usually like waste time and we're just kind of thinking of nothing, or we're thinking of thoughts that are kind of time wasters, you just pop on your book and you kind of learn as you do other things. So it doesn't have to be Audible. This is what I use, but I found it best for my lifestyle and kind of the way I organize my life, because it kind of fits in perfectly. But if you want to use, real books or YouTube or mentors, whatever, just pick something that is going to allow you to develop yourself, develop your mindset, help you achieve a new level of greatness, and keep you focused on your goals. So this is Audible. I really love it. I think it's like $14.99 a month, and you get like one book with that credit. But it's Amazon. So if you don't like a book, you can return it, and they don't ask any questions. You can just buy another book. Not saying I've done that many times, but you can definitely do it. I can promise you. So, definitely check it out if you guys have a busy life and you don't feel like sitting down and having to read, or you just want to test out something new for development. Give it a shot. All right, and this is Audible. My flashy advice is short and sweet this week, and that is find what works for you. Obviously, these are tools that I'm leveraging. I have been utilizing them for quite some time, so I'm comfortable with them and I've found success with them. So find what works for you. It could depend on what your goals are, what type of industry you're in, and what your budget is. But go out there, do your research, do your due diligence, and find what's right for you. Always remember, you got to take action to get action. It's my personal mantra. So go out there and conquer. And if you have a second, please like and subscribe. Would really appreciate your support. Thank you all, and see you next week. Don Mohsin out.